Previously on the Milan Weekly podcast.
Containing otherwise, this fucking team, fuck them. They're bipolar as shit. This fucking team, mark my word, if you want to put $100, forget it, $1,000. This team is going to win the Supercoppa because that's how bipolar they are.
Well. This guy might be Nostradamus because he could see the future. Our compadre Pepe, he saw it. Well, tonight, Vinny's out. RP to Vinny's known that tonight. I'm filling in for him. It's me and Stevie. It's a celebration because not only was it a comeback, baby, it was a super comeback. And me and Stevie, we're going to dissect everything. We got, of course, the Serie A recap coming after. We're going to talk about our new coach because there's a lot to talk about, baby. We're going to get you ready for the preview on the weekend. But shit, if you hear, you know what you got to do. Let's go, baby. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Smash the like button. Hit the notification bell so you're up to date with all of our latest videos when we're going live. Make sure you follow us on all of our socials, especially Patreon. And if you want to help the channel, the super chats are open. We already got one, Stevie. Stevie, I'm hyped. I know you're hyped. Are we ready?
Let's go!
Welcome to the Milan Weekly podcast. Yeah, baby.
Let's go!
Let's go, baby. Let's bring this in. Hey! Where you at, baby? Uncle Swallow, where you at, baby? Nima, don't hide down, Nima. We vibing tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, you are not only with the best, you're with the heavyweight champions of the world. Oh, yeah. What up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the show. I'm Fabio, joined by, of course, the legend himself, Stevie P. We are the Milan Weekly podcast tonight. Now, while we're not professionals,
nor do we pretend to be. And Facebook Frank, stop with this fucking jello. We're Super Cup champions. Dio Bono.
Some people just can't live life without jello, Stevie. That's how it is. Guys, me and Steve, well, it's a happy day. It's a happy day because what you thought would not happen, it couldn't be possible. This team, with all of the issues, with sending Zora out the door just last week, there's no way they can go into Saudi Arabia in this Fugazi 4-team Supercoppa and come out the victor, Steve. Could it be?
Hey, shout out to Compadre Pepe there for pulling. If he put 1,000 on this game, good for him. I hope he's flying to Italy to watch the next Milan game. Good for him. I wouldn't have put 1,000, that's for sure.
Honestly, and let's get to the game, Stevie. Tonight, we're calling it the super comeback, all right? Because there is nothing else. This was a comeback of epic proportions, all right? Even a few shades of even when we won the Scudetto, that Pulisic goal, very reminiscent of Giroud. at the death. Again, when you see once Leao was interjected into the game, the whole team changed. This team has a belief. This is not the Fonseca. We'll sit back and hopefully we get one goal or we'll lose 1-0. This team has some balls, and man, I was super happy when I saw it. Before we get into it, we get Steve's thoughts. Super chat is open, so if you want to leave a comment or a question, we'll answer it later, but hit us in the super chat. It's a great way to help support the channel. 2-3, Steve. Inter were riding high on both sides of that half. They fucked us. First, Deo and Chow looked very suspect on their first goal. Lautaro does what Lautaro's supposed to do, and he buries it, Steve. What were your thoughts, man? We look at the lineup going in. Obviously, Pulisic on the left side. Jimenez now on the right side. We're going with Musa, Fofana, and Reindeers in our midfield. Backline kept it all the same. What were your thoughts going in?
I was like, at least we're trying something different, because the first half of the Juve game, Fabio, was pure garbage.
It was. It was still Fonseca ball.
Yeah, it was still Fonseca ball. I gotta give Conceição a little time, and I think what I like is someone who sees that there might be a problem and tries to change something. But I won't lie. After Lautaro's goal, I was like, here we go again. We're gonna suffer. So something negative that I pulled out first, I'm going to get it out of the way because I promised myself to keep the negativity out. I don't like that we started these games 1-0 down and 2-0 down respectively. That's something that he has to address. And the high line is a bit too high. That's it.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, the low points weren't over for us because as soon as the half began, of all guys, man, the guy who we had to have arguments with his agent about fees and this and that. This fucking asshole gets us 2-0. Taremi scores again, splits both of our center backs. I don't know what was happening there, but I thought right there, oh boy, here we go. But immediately after, unlike Fonseca, this guy made a substitution quickly. Leao came in, and we started to see a big difference in the team. What did you think when you saw Leao come in? Because again, didn't even know if he was going to be on the bench. We thought maybe he was going to miss the whole game. But you see how valuable he eventually became.
Yeah, so that's the thing with Leao. Leao came to play today. For that half, I'd rather Leao start games, to be honest with you, but injury problems, and he was able to give us a half. We were discussing in the chat amongst ourselves: is he in? Is he out? Is he there at all? Is he going to? He's going to play a part? Is he going to just be a mummy? He was nothing but a mummy. He really came in and really, really changed the game. He was dangerous on the left-hand side. He was his layout, the layout that we need to see, time in, game out, is what showed up for 45 to 50 minutes in that half.
And honestly, he was the difference maker. Even I believe he's the one that gets the foul.
Yes.
We get to Theo Hernandez. And if there's anybody who needs a little confidence boost, right? It's Theo Hernandez. And they get a beautiful free kick in a very dangerous area right outside the box. Inter sets up their wall. Theo Hernandez, he has no interest in that fucking wall because he takes it perfectly around. Lautaro does a little dance to the side, misses the ball completely, and it finds its way in. We're back in. That's I don't remember what time that was. Was that 61st minute, I believe? Right? 52nd.
52nd minute, yeah.
So I'm thinking, all right, 2-1. We're back in it. Like people were predicting 3-1. I believe somebody on the television said that. So, all right, well, look, 2-1. This is good. Let's just show some fight. I even said it to my coworker. I said, this is the part where now we just got to see the fight. Even if we eventually lose this game, let's just show some heart. We go, as Gio would say, we go out on our shield. And that's what happened, man. There's a couple of chances that we are very lucky Inter doesn't do better with. There's one insane play that Mike saves on the 71st minute. That's off the line. Can't remember who was in the game at that point. I believe for Mkhitaryan or whatever. I can't remember the player, but he's right at the line, and Mike barely gets his hand on it, and thank God for goal line technology being on our side, saves it there. Then finally, Pulisic gets at the end of a beautiful Dale cross. Honestly, I was like, that's kind of a shit cross. But Pulisic finds his way, makes a little space, turns, gets it to his left foot, and he just buries it low and hard. 80th minute. Were you believing at that point, Steve? Again, Pulisic.
Again, Captain America. Look, a lot of things happened in this game where, Inter's going to be kicking themselves. They had chances. You spoke about the Mkhitaryan one. Goal line technology saved us on that one. There was another incident where I think it was Fratesi was almost alone on goal, and someone, I don't remember who it was, came in with a tackle, which ended up as a pass, believe it or not, on the right-hand side. And then Mike made another incredible save. I don't know where it hit him, if it hit his kneecap, it hit his head, but it flew out almost past the 18-yard box. So they're going to kick themselves because this is a game that was in their back pocket. And I think Inter screwed up. Inter showed a little bit of arrogance. As soon as it was 2-0, Limone decided that he was going to start, using his bench.
Yeah.
They had the Hakan Çalhanoğlu injury, and that's how important he is to their team, believe it or not. Once he comes out, that's not the same team. That's not the same team. This is almost like, when Brozovic was in and Brozovic was out at Inter. This is how bad it's getting at Inter, where that he makes that much of a difference. Not even Barella or Fratesi can replicate that. So the arrogance of Inter to start, running their bench, this is on them, So, I see Lord Figo in the chat. He's nice enough to join us, but you got to hear the hard facts, and the hard truth is that Inter's arrogance cost them a Super Cup. And I can't wait. Fam. I can't wait for all the excuses that are going to come out. This cup doesn't mean anything. That's number one. Number two, Inter didn't want to play their starters. Inter had injuries. We already saw it in the chat. Thuram and Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Yes, of course. You're the deepest team in Serie A, Figo, and all the other Interistas that don't want to talk to me today. Limone, he didn't want to win 4 cups in a row. He said, you know what? I'm going to take this one off. I'm going to give it to you guys, Milan. You guys, you deserve it. He was in the giving mood for Befana. For Befana, he was, what other thing? Well, all of the players on Inter magically did not want to play soccer because they were looking at local soccer and where they can play next year. Maybe for my local club, CSRDP. For another Interista, Rocco Placentino, he has Ville Saint-Laurent here in Montreal. Great organization. Inter wanted to go play for those teams. They don't want to play for Inter anymore.
I thought you meant they were looking at the Saudi Arabia team where they could make even more money.
No, that's another excuse. They don't believe in the cup because it was played in Saudi Arabia. That's another excuse. Why is it that we could come on and we could do a podcast and we can say the truth? We could take off our glasses and we can say, you know what? Our team sucked. And Interistas have to go in and have to go get those bifocals. They got to take them out and say that in the second half, they sucked. Their arrogance cost them a Super Cup.
That's right. Cup or no cup, it's still a fucking derby. Yeah, it must be, Limone must be, maybe he's like allergic to the Portuguese, Maybe once he plays the Portuguese, he just can't do it. The red and black Portuguese gets them all mixed up. Well,
it's going to be number 2. This is going to be number 2 this year.
This is 2 in 1 year. 2 times. And one of them was for Fonseca. That should be even more embarrassing. Listen, this game, again, another insane save on Dumfries. A great chance. I believe it's, oh my God, Tomori makes a diving save. Well, kicks the ball, somehow finds Dumfries, and then Dumfries, again, is one-on-one with Mike, basically, on that right side. And Mike comes out, makes himself big, and makes an amazing save in the 87th minute. And here it is. Here's the kicker, Steve, because this is a beautiful, this just shows you when these guys are working well, this is not the Messias, all right? This is not the Salamakis, all right? Or the Suso, or any other fucking bum we've had on the right side. And it's sure as hell not Chukwueze. But when you have a perfect flow between Pulisic, who finds a perfect run of Leao, who just smartly chips it back right open in the middle of the 6-yard box, there is open Tammy, who, if he missed it, it would have been a miracle. It was an easy tap. It was perfect. Right at the death. And Milan goes off 3-2 victory. Steve, I was at work. I damn near knocked over my coworker, and I damn near rolled my ankle. That's how insane I was getting. How are you feeling? Tell us what it was like when you saw Pulisic to Leao to Tammy 3-2 for the winner.
I was in a cage, Fabio. I was in a meeting where my coworkers, love them all, understandably knowing that I'm not paying attention to this meeting, but don't want to yell in case I unmute myself by mistake, because it's happened before. In a cage, I ran upstairs. I think I pulled my hamstring. The prosciutto is gone. Saw my son and looked at him. Yeah, buddy, no interista going to talk to you. Tuesday at practice, no one's going to talk to you. Thursday at practice, no one's going to talk to you. No interista, no Juventino, no one can talk. Zitto, finito. Shut up. You have no cup. You have nothing yet. Right now, Milan's in the lead. We have a cup. No one else has a cup. The Romanisti have to stop crying. The Napolitani have to stop crying. Everybody shuts up because we have a cup and no one else has a cup. Giusto o no? Giusto or no? This Presidente put it out there for everybody. The Napolitan and the Margherita pizza. They have everything. They have Conte ball. They have this. They have that. Everybody wants to dance. Everybody's fast to kick the dog when he's down. Oof. Our dog was down. And I'm asking myself, watching these two games where they showed some fight, guys, why didn't you make this earlier? When Zio Stevie P, he said, guys, Fonseca non è da Milan. I know that Kumbare Pepe, he guessed the Supercoppa. Stevie P, he guessed that Fonseca non è da Milan. If they would watch, if Milan would subscribe, push the fucking button, push the little bell. And every once in a while, when me, you, Vinny, Gio, when he's not half blasted, comes on and says something half intelligent, take it. Because today, there's a lot of people that they're forgetting all their arguments, you understand? It's the Americans' fault, Fabio. Today, how come it's not the Americans' fault that we won? Now, everybody, you say it's the Americans' fault that we won. We won.
That's all. You have to give credit when it's due. And today, you have to tip your cap to management, as insane and unprofessional and idiotic they've looked this year. Here, they've addressed the coach in the correct manner. And maybe, just maybe, they found the diamond. They made the right choice. Conceição has changed the mentality in just 2 games with a fucking fever in the middle of the desert of Saudi Arabia. He's got these guys all believing again. And guess what? Something so many Milan fans, I promise you, didn't think was going to happen because they're too busy worrying about Jerry and Ibra. Even us, we can't stand when Ibra's talking nonsense when we're not doing anything. But today, we did exactly what Milanista love. We raised the trophy. And God damn it, you can hate it. And this is more directed at people outside of North America. But you might hate the American influence of the ownership. But the American player is, again, so valuable with him and Leao, Pulisic. I mean, we have 2 studs. If we could just find a striker to be half competent, not like Morata at times, we will be extremely dangerous, Steve.
We spent this whole year, flop after flop, and Roma, hold my beer. Did we not? It was flop after flop.
We were looking worse than Roma most of the time.
Today, you know what we did today? Roma had the beer. They had the beer. They won. We're gonna talk about in the Fubu section. They won Derby della Capitale, one of the most ferocious derbies there is in the world. They even made them play at night. They haven't played at night in about like 49 years. And we took their fucking beer away from them. Because no one's talking about Derby della Capitale anymore. Tomorrow, on Gazzetta dello Sport, there has to be C'è solo Milan. C'è solo Milan. That for one page, I want that page, C'è solo Milan. Because for a week, I have not only seen how stupid Milan could be, I've also seen how idiotic Gazzetta dello Sport and the other stupid newspapers could be. To the point where Juve sucks of royal dick. Okay? They suck royal dick. And never once have I seen a guy take the time to break down how shit their team is. But Gazzetta dello Sport, we beat Juve, and instead of saying, hey, Milan beat Juve, the guy, he pops up at the bottom of your screen like this. Ah, ciao, io mi chiamo Simone e io vi faccio vedere il Milan ha battuto la Juve. There's always the but. Milan beat Juve, but I'm going to show you how miserable they are on the left-hand side when we're on the counterattack. Hey, who the fuck do these people think they are? It's enough with this. It's enough. The little square. And every time I went on Gazzetta Sport, I saw the square. For a fucking week, they ran it. We know that they can't play defense. We know that they have a high line. The guy, it's 2 days that he's on the job. He has already a Supercup. You want to give him some time.
Yeah, because, listen, what he's doing and this turnaround, even the turnaround against Juve, back-to-back games, yes, I'm with you. A little concerning that we've been giving leads up. But the fight that the team has shown, it's just, again, remarkable. And this is not a coach who, he said it himself, he's not going to be hugging and kissing players' asses. He's there to make them work. And right now, it seems like they're all buying in. For God's sakes, the guy's only been here for 1 week. And we got the fucking cigar dancing video of our own.
We don't even have to play the Porto one. I was so afraid when I saw that they played that video so fast. I was like, oh my God, how long am I going to have to watch this video of him playing in Porto, of him dancing in Porto to one of my favorite songs. I love that song. And like, it's already gone. Like, it's erased now. We never have to see it again. We don't have to go in the past. We don't have to see that again. Oh my God. Oh my God, guys. Oh my God. What? Oh yeah, he's dancing. Look, he's dancing. Look at Lord Figo. Yeah, we're breathing hard. You know why? Because we're the Super Cup champions. We're the champions. We're the fucking champions. We beat the almighty Inter that I've been on this show. Unlike you, my friend. And I'm going to talk. I never usually give you I'm going to give you the floor, but I'm going to give it to you now. Unlike you, my friend, I say it the way it is, right? I understand that your team is the best in Serie A. The best in Serie A. I have no problem saying that, because if I don't say that, I'm the idiot. Tonight, you come in on this stupid chat, with your canottiere, whatever you have, or whatever nationality you are, whatever canottiere is it for you in your language, Trashburga, whatever it is, Portuguese, I don't know, whatever you are. You come on your
I think
thing,
he's a Caribbean boy.
It doesn't matter. He comes and you could type all you want. I've been doing this for 10 years, buddy. 10 years. You know how many people like you I've seen? You throw on the 2 stars. Yeah, good for you. You deserve it. My team was stupid. Your team was smart. But tonight is my night because I'm Super Cup champion. You can't say that. You can't say that. You can ask someone to bring you a coffee if they want, wherever you are in the world. I can't do that because my wife's going to kill me. But I know that I can drink out of the Super Cup. That's the beauty of this. It's the beauty. You could put luck win. You could put best Sony. You can't even spell in the chat, Lord Figo, tonight. You can't even spell. Your computer is betraying you tonight, Lord Figo. You could put luck win. Put whatever you want, Lord Figo, tonight. Put whatever you want, because I am the Super Cup champion. This, here, this, with the 1 star. We're the Super Cup champion, not you. Let's go.
Let's go top and flop. So there's a lot of good ones to pick from, right? You can go Pulisic. You can go Leao. I think Fofana had a pretty solid game too. What's your, even Theo Hernandez, I thought he was pretty solid. What are your tops?
Top for me is Christian Pulisic. Top.
That's a good one. I'll give you that. I'm going to give you, though, I'm going to say Leao, because Leao is the difference maker. Once he comes in, the play with him and Pulisic, and again, that play at the end. Oof,
Oh, wait, Fabio. Hold on.
You know, hold on.
No, hold on.
Compadre Frank had a good line that I want to forget the saves, forget the goal. The best part is Leao telling Bisek to get up and then shoving that weasel Barella who tries to get in his face. I love it.
Hold on. Listen to this, okay? You know what that is?
Interista tears?
No. It's me drinking from the Super Cup, baby. Let's go.
Listen, honorable mention, Mike, because Mike played a hell of a game. Without Mike, we don't see the victory tonight. Lord Figo is dancing in his underwear somewhere in Queens if Mike wasn't standing tall between the posts there for us. So got to give Mike love. But if you have to identify the lowest of the lows, who's your flop of the game?
Okay, we automatically take out Emerson Royale because he was horrible again. Honestly, I didn't think Chow was very confident today.
I agree.
And it's very hard to play next to Theo Hernandez because Theo Hernandez is not a left back. Theo Hernandez is a wing back. And we have that problem. We have the little guy who pops up on Gazzetta dello Sport. He's smart. He says we have that problem on the other side. Once he pulls up and Leao gets stuck or someone else on the left is getting stuck, we have trouble in transition and you leave your center backs exposed. It's not only on Chow and Tomori. You guys, you have to all stop with that. The center backs are only as good as our midfield. If our midfield is working, the center backs are working.
Yeah, I think that's fair. My flop, unfortunately, I gotta give it to the young kid. I don't think Morata flop. That's a good one too. I was gonna give it to Jimenez. Didn't really do much. I know it's kind of unfair.
No, you're not allowed. The guy's supposed to be playing in Milan Futuro. He's playing tonight in the Super Cup. He gets
a pass. He gets a pass. All right.
Easy
you
pass.
know what?
Same
That's
thing
fair.
if Camarda would have came in. No. This is the problem in Italy. Guys like that show up and play in the Super Cup and they get destroyed because we think, in quote unquote, they're not doing anything. He didn't cause us any problems. He didn't get a red card. He didn't cost us anything. For me, it's a win. Chukwueze wouldn't have done any better. We don't have a better right.
Would have done nothing. We
would
have done
have
nothing.
a better.
But I think the chat is right. I'm gonna go Morata. We expect a lot more from Morata.
Camarda should be starting, guys.
Yeah.
If Jimenez starts, Camarda should start. I understand Morata is someone who's longer in the tooth. He's been here a while. He's been here we signed him for a reason. But I'm going to repeat myself. Morata is not Giroud. Giroud is a game changer. Giroud is a game changer. Morata is not.
Yeah. You know what? And also, I would rather see at some point Camarda start and then bring in Abraham. Abraham's okay off the bench. I'm okay with that. Morata, I don't know. He hasn't clicked for us. And I wish there was something better as an alternative, but it's not the case at the moment. All right. Any other final thoughts before we get into Serie A recap?
We're Super Cup champions. That's all I want to say.
Hold on. Let's just take one more sip of that Super Cup. Dang, that tastes good. What's that taste like? This segment is brought to you by Football Canada, the home for Serie A and the Premier League in Canada. Sign up, tell them MWP sent you. Stevie, it's time for the recap of the league. We'll start Saturday's first game, Venezia and Empoli. They ended up drawing 1-1. Both goals came in the first half. Venezia's goal early in the first half, in the 5th minute. Esposito's tied for Empoli in the 32nd minute, but after that was pretty much it. 6 points only separates these clubs, but it's a valuable point for Venezia when we look at the table later. Did you get to check out this one at all?
Yes, and this is on Empoli. This was 3 points that the 2 points that they will not get back. These relegation teams need to start thinking about that 40-point mark and to get there fast. Get there fast because, guys, this is going to be tough, man. Down the line, these points here, you need to get them. You need to get them.
Assist by Colombo to Esposito too. Very nice. Very nice. All right, let's get to the next one, Steve. This one is for our boy Liban Youssef. Did have a couple of these. Unfortunately, they were all for Conte's side. Fiorentina hosting Napoli, and man, Palladino's having a rough couple of weeks. It is their 4th winless game in 4 games. Tough for them. All 3 goals, Napoli. Neres in the 29th. Lukaku converts a penalty in the 54th. And then McTominay having a great first season at Napoli in the 68th minute with the 3rd goal to top it out. Napoli currently sitting at the top of the table. Thoughts on Conte? This one wasn't a 1-0. This one was an ass beating of Fiorentina.
Yeah, they beat them up. I watched this game. Napoli beat them up. Fiorentina had no answers. Palladino, once again, guys, I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, I'm a coach, but, it's something that I like. It's something that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about the tactics of the game. Palladino, what are you thinking changing your formation against Napoli? You almost, you gift wrapped a 3-0 win to Conte by changing up something that's worked for you since the beginning of the season. We have a problem with coaches nowadays. They're overthinking things way too much. And this is exactly that. He overthought it, went to some kind of 4-3-3 that he wanted to play where he exposed everybody. And Conte took note of that, and he's not stupid. Conte, he's a psycho. He goes crazy. He has fake hair, but he's someone who knows how to adjust. And if he sees something, he's going to exploit it, and they did. On that right hand side, I think they have Ruben Neves, or I forgot his name there. The young kid, super fast, and they didn't have KK either. So imagine what they would have done with because they had to play Spinazzola at the left wing back, usually where KK sits. That was going to be a rough time for Fiorentina, and it was tough for them. That was a tough beating at home.
Well, the next game, unfortunately, no trompeta, not even 1 goal. Verona hosting Udinese ends up in a 0-0 tie. Verona did get a red card in the 71st minute, so Udinese had 20 minutes to try to do something. Verona needs to be worried. They're only 2 points above the drop zone right now. Udinese, too, after a decent start, they're starting to slip, not gaining any points against Verona. What are your thoughts on this one?
2 teams that need this is more for Udine. Udine needs to shape up, or it's going to be very dicey for them in the final days of the Campionato. Again, it's Udine just becomes world-class Real Madrid when they play Milan. Against everybody else, they can't figure out anything. And it's exactly the way this game went, because it was a hard one to watch.
Well, the next game, we had another one. Poor Monza, they cannot get out of their own way here. They lose 2-1 to Cagliari, and I mean, they had a good start. They had a penalty in the 6th minute. They converted 1-0, but didn't last very long. In the 22nd minute, Zotera scored, and then Piccoli in the second half in the 56th minute. Very important 3 points for Cagliari. They climb out of the top 3, and I mean, they even ended on a red card. Monza, D'Ambrosio got a red card in the 63rd minute, sitting in 20th place. Obviously, they fired their coach. What was it, 2-3 weeks ago already? They got rid of Nesta, but Monza just cannot get anything going. Still in 20th place.
I'm a bit hurt because that's Galliani's team and that's Silvio's team now. I would have expected them to, at least put up a fight, and they're good, and I'm curious to see what they're gonna do in the January transfer window because they need some help. They're just not putting together the results that they need to get out of that basement. And if it continues like this, it looks like Monza's gonna end up going down.
Yeah, I think the way it's looking, if they don't shape up by maybe week 30, the way some of these teams around them are doing much better than them. They're not like a point or two. They need a couple of wins just to get themselves out of the drop zone. So it's looking very grim already by the midway point. All right, the next game, Lecce hosting Genoa. On this one, again, no trompeta, ends 0-0. Nothing really to talk about. Next one, let's go to the next slide. Torino, Parma, 0-0 again. Another great game. This one, again, I have no notes. Any notes for either one of these games? I mean, Torino, Parma.
So Torino Parma is a perfect example of these guys play way too much soccer, and it shows because games like this, where especially Torino at home, needing to accumulate some points, haven't had the greatest string of results. Their president is fighting with their fans. Like, this is one that you have to come out for. There's too many 0-0s here, too many draws where it doesn't do the league any great service. But Ricci signing an extension. Are we seeing another Brevner move by Cairo where he's signing them to an extension and then lets them go in the summer transfer window where he has a little bit of negotiating power, which is super business, to be very honest with you. Something that someone should write down at Milan and take notice of, because that gives him a lot of leverage. And
Absolutely.
I would like Ricci in my midfield. I really would.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see them get him in a contract extension with all the talk of him already exiting by the summertime. But yeah, you're right. Smart business by Torino. All right, here it comes. The derby of all derbies, Steve.
The most electrifying derby in the world.
Derby of the capital. Roma, the home team for this one, taking on a Lazio that is slightly slipping in form. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, poor Strasbourg Steve. He's probably upset somewhere because Roma take a 2-0 win here. Early, Salimakis, Alexis, Jimenez 1.0. All right. The salad maker, the salsicha maker, the salad tosser. This guy was cooking up dynamite this game. Assisted on Pellegrini's goal in the 10th minute. And then
Who scored the first goal?
Pellegrini, I believe.
Who's that, Pellegrini? Oh yeah, the guy who shows up once every 10 games for Roma. Yeah, okay, I got him.
And then the salad man does it himself in the 18th minute. And that was the game. Ends up being the MVP of this one. And then, of course, as any derby does, shenanigans at the end with the red card. Castellanos gets a red card in the 95th minute. He must not want to show up next week. He's got a hot date next weekend. So he said, I'll take the week off. But it ends 2-0. Thoughts on this one, Steve?
Yeah, this is a good derby for Roma. Like I said, they had the beer and we just took it away from them. They needed this. And Lazio, which I didn't think this was going to happen, is starting to Jekyll and Hyde on us a little bit later than usual in the season. And I can't understand it. Is this how good Serie A is at, dissecting new coaches? We saw it with Motta last year at Bologna, where he had a fantastic season, made Bologna look like Real Madrid, goes to Juve, doesn't do anything. Now, Lazio's coach, very new, Someone who's new in the league, some different tactics. Are we figuring him out too? Like this is stuff that Serie A is known for. Ranieri is someone who has a lot of experience, and for him coming to Roma, which is something probably that he did not want to do.
No, he
Come
should
out
have
of
stayed
retirement.
retired.
Yeah, he should have stayed retired to get all that stress. And let's go.
Lord Figo in the chat having a little trouble with math. Isn't that just typical for an Interista?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, Lord Figo doesn't know 92, 93, 94 means 3 years. But we got 3 games left here in match day 19, which will be going on at some point, I believe, next Tuesday and Wednesday to catch up. Well, of course, we got Milan traveling to Como, which Como and Milan are very close in geography. So that is going to be a heavily packed out Milan. And then Atalanta hosting Juventus. That's a great matchup. And Inter taking on Bologna. Again, the other matchups for the other teams are way more difficult on paper, you should say, than us against Como. So
yeah, but hold on. This is the ultimate trap game for Milan. Actually, we have Cagliari this weekend. That's the trap game number 1, and then Como. So super duper trap game against Cagliari this weekend. And then once we make up this game against Como, which will be another trap game, because I'm going with Compare Pepe there, this team is bipolar. Now, does Conceição make them understand that when you are the favorite, it's time to put the pedal to the metal? You understand? Like let's get this out of the way.
Maybe if they are bipolar, he's got them on the right prescription and medication to get them in order. You know what I mean? So not so much mood swings, and we keep getting the same thing, and hopefully it turns out
there's a big clash this year. With Juve losing to Milan,
they're gonna have to bounce back against Atalanta.
And they're gonna. I forget who they play this weekend, but this Atalanta game, if they don't get a result this weekend, and then they have this Atalanta game, is Thiago Motta on the hot seat at Juve? Do I smell an Allegri coming back? I don't know.
I hope so. That would be something, Steve. That would be something. This weekend, where is he? Juve plays Torino. A derby of their own.
Oh, that would be utter chaos if they don't.
That is the 12 o'clock game, Steve. 12 o'clock game on Saturday. Very nice.
And then we have Inter at Bologna. Bologna is not the same as last year, so they've had put some good performances in. I think Inter will bounce back at home against Bologna after this weekend's game. That's for sure.
We need Italiano. Do us all a favor and make both drop points, please. Let's look at the table now, Steve. Up to date from today's. Obviously, today doesn't matter, but this is where we're sitting at. Napoli currently sitting at the top at 44th points. Atalanta with a game behind with 41. Inter 2 games at hand. So winning both of those will shoot them up to the top spot, but they're currently in 3rd. Lazio now drifting off to 4th with 35 points. Juve in 5th with 32nd. Fiorentina also tied with them. Bologna 7th with 28 points, and Milan there in 8th place still 27 points, but 2 games at hand. So we win those 2, and we could be right back up there in the mix for 5th, 6th place, maybe get higher. Bottom 3, Lecce, Venezia, and Monza. You see, Monza, they are 7 points for being out of the drop point. That is 2 wins and a draw. Very difficult for a team that can't even scrounge up a tie. But I don't know, Steve, you look at this. What are your thoughts? So now, match 19. This is officially halfway through the Campionato. What are your thoughts?
I think, that 4th place, to be very honest at the beginning, I didn't think it was something that we could catch. I think if we string together some wins and some good results, I think we can catch that fourth or 3rd spot. I think 1, 2 will be a little bit hard to get. Especially the way Lazio, Juve, and Fiorentina have been playing, and Bologna, to be honest with you. This is something that can we've made it much harder than it was supposed to be. Let's be completely frank with everybody, because Unfortunately, we did not have the testicular fortitude to make the coaching change when Zio Steve asked you to make the coaching change. I'm going to be honest, but it's a possibility.
It's definitely a possibility. I look at this and I say 8th place to 4th. If they win those 2 games in hand, we're up to 33 points, only 2 points off of Lazio. Again, why not us, baby? Lord Figo, you see those pluses? That means we got games at hand, baby. Don't worry about us. We're good, baby. We're drinking the Supercoppa tonight. Guys, that is the FUBU segment for this week. Hold on. I spit. Where is it, Vinny? This is where we need Vin. He's a professional for this stuff. And that has been the FUBU Canada segment this week, the home of Serie A and the Premier League in Canada. Steve, all right, we got to talk now. We got to talk because Super Sergio has only been here for a week, but these 7 days, these spectacular 7 days, we already got a video of him dancing. Already we got it. I mean, Steve, let's just talk. This guy, did you expect him to have this sort of reaction to the team? The way he was making them do two-a-days, the way he's injected belief back into Theo Hernandez, in some of our players that maybe they looked like they were possibly on their way out. The team was crashing and burning. We thought this was just going to be a tournament we show up at, we participate, we get maybe embarrassed by Juve, and then we go back to Serie A, but it didn't work out that way. Sergio Conceição, what are your thoughts, your first impressions? Obviously, it's championship impressions, but your thoughts, man.
Yeah, so, I'm not going to sit here and be a Monday morning quarterback. He did well at Porto. I'm curious to see what he does with Milan. I like that type of style. He seems like he's a guy who doesn't take shit from anybody. He said it, not here to make friends, which I love.
Me too.
But the body language of the players is changing. There's smiles, there's more energy, and he said it. You want to play nice football is one thing, but the results count in the end. And that's what's important for Milan right now is results. I don't care how we get 3 points from here to match day 38. Just get me into some of those spots that get me into Champions League again. And I can't believe I'm saying it because it pisses me off. But the project has to work. This is something that if he does get into those Champions League spots, it's up to. This is when it's up to. Ibra, it's enough for the Lion. Let's see what you could do. Moncada, Fulani, start scratching some checks because we're not deep enough. We need a bit more quality and address positions that, you made a mistake. You went for Fonseca. You thought that you were going to be able to put a Band-Aid. The Band-Aid didn't work. You needed stitches. You brought in Conceição. Let's go. I want a project. I want something that's sustainable for years. And again, we are not Man City, guys. So if you're going to have Milan Futuro, invest in there too. Make sure it works properly because that's going to feed your actual first team. And you're not going to go bankrupt like our cousins. Because that's where they're heading. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. They don't want to hear it, but it's the truth.
I mean, I think Conceição, listen, it's not the same comparing it to Pioli when they fired Gianpaolo. Again, this is probably a little too late that they did it. Yes. But they ended up causing where they interjected this guy right at the moment that they were going to be in this little tournament that could make a little waves. And yes, should have been done about 2 months earlier. But there's something to be said then when you make the right change, when you identify your mistake. So you know what? We can't move forward. We need to find somebody who's going to do the job we're looking to do. Maybe they pulled back on this idea that they wanted possession football. They wanted all this and that. And Conceição said, look, I'm not here to play this tiki-taka bullshit. There's 2 goals. One you score on and one that you give up goals. And that's all that matters. And you see, they're playing defensively better. Maybe not so much these last 2 games because they did give up the goals first. But the defenders are at least playing with some fire at the back. And offensively, I think we're only going to get better because this is the style. Us sitting back and being more compact, playing on a counter is, I think, better suited for us because we have speedsters. We have one of the greatest counterattacking player in the world. And when he's playing at a high caliber, we have players like Pulisic who have a very high IQ. And you see he's still hitting his highest points of his career. I think if we can just get everybody else, our midfield, we get a little more depth in this transfer window, something we're not grown accustomed to with Milan lately. Maybe we could turn it around and get to the goal that nobody wanted, but realistically where we're at, which is making sure we get to Champions League again so we don't have to ever worry about where our finances are, where we need to get rid of. And maybe this guy is the correct guy going forward. We'll see.
It's eerily very similar to what happened when we sacked Gianpaolo and brought in Pioli. It's that type of attitude. It's that type of change that seems to be happening at the body language level. I have to just disagree. I don't think Milan could just be a counter-attacking team. It cannot, because there's teams that will not let them be counter-attacking teams. There's the Cagliaris, the Comos, the Veronas that they'll sit back, they'll put 10 behind the ball, and we have to break that down.
Trouble.
Yes, we're going to be in big trouble because these guys need to figure out what to do in the phases of play. What to do when you're in your third, what you do when you're in the second third, and what you do in the final third. For me, it's the final third the problem. I need to see what he wants to do, what he wants this team to do in the final third, because we're not going to have the Inters. They're going to have most of the ball all the time, and we're not going to have, because Juve was like that. Juve wanted to put us to sleep after they went up 1-0. We made them pay, but we made them pay because they don't have a striker. They forgot in somewhere in their Mercato calculation that they didn't have a backup striker, and they're paying for it, right? So
I feel like this coach could identify ways of making sure we find better chances and we can turn these games around when everybody wants to just sit back and dares us to come attack them, and we have no creativity to find a way through. But I feel like this coach, with time, I think we can really turn this season around. But let's go through our questions here real quick.
Before that, did we shout out Victor? I put it up. Did we shout out Victor for the super chat?
I was going to shout him out in a second for this, but let's give Victor some. Victor, thank you so much.
You just take it away all the time.
Well, there's nothing there. I don't understand what this. Victor, write something cool next time. We appreciate it, though. That's awesome. Thank you so much, man. Also, earlier, Anthony in Cosasao, I trust. See, we love you guys. Thank you so much. Keep the super chats coming. It's how you can help support the channel. And we will always read your stuff out, except if you put blank stuff. Then we have nothing to read out. We'll just call your name. We appreciate it. I got to give a little love here. Noi non siamo americani. We're not chanting that tonight, right? Nobody's saying that. Appreciate you, Faz, always being in here. All right. Also, let's get to our comments. We'll read Gio's first, because technically, I don't know why Gio writes in this thing still. He's on the fucking channel. All right, so Gio wrote, Europe is now on notice. Pulisic, the American, can play footy. We smoking on that snake pack tonight, baby. We finally have that dog fight in us. I mean, we mentioned it earlier. Pulisic had a great game. And again, the heart that the team showed, it's what you want to see, right, Steve? Again, defensively, we don't want to go down 1-0, 2-0. We don't want to do that. But the fight back has to be admired, right?
Absolutely. Right on, Gio.
All right, so next one, of course, our buddy Vince Mancini says, what's up, MWP? As I'm writing this, I am at the halftime watching the Supercoppa replay. Vinny is, I tell you, he's just like Seinfeld. Don't tell me I recorded the Mets game. This is exactly what Vince, I don't know how he does it. Question, do you think some of the team members of our starting 11 hate playing with Emerson Royale? Clearly is garbage, and many of our starting 11 are in awe, are aware of this as they are reluctant to pass the ball when he's clearly wide open. Overall, how do you think he is being received by our core group of players being such a sack of shit? Thanks, MWP. I don't know, Steve. What do you think? Do you think obviously everybody in the fan group hates Emerson Royale,
Yeah,
but
it
the
must
team
not be
hate him?
easy for him, and it reminds me
No.
of Macias. So, Macias was not loved by everybody.
It's true.
The thing is that now he's there, right? So do they hate playing with him? I seriously doubt that, because they understand that everybody goes through ups and downs. He's just never had an up. He's always down. What do you want to say, guys? It's just not the right back for us, and unfortunately, it doesn't bring anything. Like, you see him on the ball, he looks confused. He doesn't know what to do. He wants to take on players. Maybe yes, maybe no. Go backwards, go forwards. Like, he looks like he's stuck. He looks like one of those games that's stuck in a loop. And he has zero confidence now. And I don't know how they get back that confidence, but I think that there's better players that can play at right back. And, like you were saying, the kid plays back in Milan Futuro. Now we're putting him in the midfield. You want to gamble? Start putting the kid at the back position. Put him at his natural position, right back, and let's see what he can do. I have no problem with that for him. And maybe Emerson Royale gets a fire lit up his ass and fixes up his game. But besides that, I don't think they hate playing with him because he's a teammate, right? They celebrated with him.
Exactly. Leao was taking pictures with him. I
ask one thing. Just, send a message to Emerson, like don't touch Camarda. Like don't put your hands on him, because I don't want that transferring over to him. Just whatever you have, just keep it with you for now till you get over it. But don't touch Camarda. Just don't touch him.
It's like he has a virus. Don't spread it around, please. Keep him quarantined. Foz has a question, but this is more for me. Who's going to win Fabio's Super Bowl pool? Hey, Foz! You're not going to win it, all right? I'm going to win it. I have Super Bowl boxes in case anybody wants it. Figo, come give me your money, buddy. All right, we got one question by the Lord Jan himself. He put, clearly the tactics aren't there so soon with the new coach. So what is it about Conceição that has this team playing more like a team? And I ask you, Steve, you're a coach. You've seen bringing people together. What is it? What is it about this coach that's getting them on the right page?
I just think it's timing, right? It's someone who's played the game, who's had success at a respectable team like Porto, who doesn't have that big budget, creates a lot of opportunities for transfers that makes Porto a hotbed for talent. I just think the players have more respect for him. That's one. Two, this is the honeymoon stage, right? So like we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. There needs to be a 10-game window, a 10 to 15-game window where we see what Conceição wants to do with his style of play and his tactics. And we take it from there, right? But why they're playing with this much, guys, they have a lot on the line, guys. Milan is a heavy shirt to play with. And if things go bad, they go bad. We've seen them go bad. So it's either they're going to put in that effort and, they're going to believe in what he wants to do. And that's why they're playing for Conceição right now. That's why they played for Pioli. After they saw what Gianpaolo was doing, they were playing for Pioli. So after what they saw what Fonseca was, quote-unquote, trying to do, they're going to play for Conceição. That's what I believe.
Shout out from my uncle Vincenzo in the chat. Congratulations, Milan. Like what I said, Leao is different. As a matter of fact, when you came in, Milan was a different team. Absolutely. My uncle always says Leao is the heartbeat of Milan. When he plays and wants to play well and puts himself on the game, Milan is a completely different team. And I think tonight you needed to see it. One last comment, Stevie, from the chat before we keep this moving. From my buddy Ahmed from the New York City chat. It's enough people celebrating the Winter Scudetto. Now we have an Interista celebrating third place in the winter. Unbelievable. Listen, Interistas, they're sore today, all right? They're very sore. You got to apologize You got to be easy on them. They have to drink a lot of tears tonight, and it's a beautiful thing. We got Calgary. Quick question: new striker signing this winter or no? I mean, I would love to. What do you say, Steve?
I don't think they're going to address the striker position.
No.
I would love them to give, to have a
Camarda
combination. Yeah, have Camarda play with Morata, have Camarda play with Abraham. I don't know what you want to do to insulate this guy, but we're getting to the point where, seems like Tammy Abraham's having that, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer effect, where he comes in off the bench and he finds a way to get a goal. But the future is Camarda, and I think that we're wasting valuable time here and experience not getting him any minutes. And I could say that even after a Super Cup win. I think we need to get him to play. He's going to – and we have to be patient. Again, for me, he would have absolutely zero flopponitis from here on out. He would only have the ability to get tops because he is goddamn 16 years old, guys.
All right, so we got Calgary on the weekend on Saturday. I believe the 2:45, 8:45 in Italy game, so it's prime time. What are your thoughts here? Do you want to see the same lineup? Do you want to see a little bit of rotation, or do you want the best 11 out there again?
No, I want the best 11 out there again. I don't want to see any. I don't want to see any rotation. Scheduling at Serie A is just absolutely garbage because you play on Monday and then magically you have to play on Saturday. You could not have fixed the schedule.
Because we have to play on Tuesday the following week. That's why we're on the Saturday.
This is a big problem.
Yeah,
like find a way. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, this is getting ridiculous now. It's not humanly possible because you fly these guys out to Saudi Arabia. Yeah, they're gonna win. They're gonna be on a hangover. This is a trap game. This is an absolute trap game.
It is, and. Again, a lot of big games coming up this particular week. Bologna taking on Roma. Other than that, there's really, again, Torino against Juventus. That's a big game. Udinese taking on Atalanta. And then other than that, we got to make points here. These are one of the teams, again, 17th place, only 17 points this season. We need to take all 3 points. There is no excuses here. We expect the same thing from a Conceição team. Go out there, give them some fight, get the 3 points. 3 points is all that matters. We don't give a shit how it looks, and we keep it moving. All right, we're almost to the end here, Steve. I know you don't do predictions, so I won't even bother asking you. All you want to see is 3 points.
Yeah.
All right, parting shot. I'll say mine because it's your show, Steve, so you go last. Guys, greater New York area, if you're coming to visit Manhattan, if you haven't got enough of all the tolls you paid, now you get a little extra one for coming into the goddamn city. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, New York. Well, if you are in the greater New York area, come down to the Football Factory at Legends Bar, 33rd and 5th Avenue. Come chill. I will be in attendance, 2:45. Milan Club New York will be having a great time, hopefully celebrating a victory. So that's my parting shot. Of course, everybody in the chat, thank you guys so much for always checking us out. Stevie, what's your parting shot?
Guys, thank you for the support. My thing is this. 85 in the live, guys. I hate saying the number, but I love seeing the numbers getting high up there. And it has to do when Milan wins. When Milan wins, everybody wants to jump on. We even have Interist, Juventini join, guys. Everybody's welcome. I'm here for all the shots. I couldn't care less. I don't know if, Lord Figo copy-pastes all the time. There he just keeps on saying the same thing. But it's great. It fuels me. I love it. I can take the banter. I don't care. Call me whatever you want. I don't care. Other Milanista podcast, say what you want to say. I'm going to come here and I'm going to say exactly what I want to say every fucking weekend, every Monday, because I've been doing it for so long. I could not give a shit. But I'm going to leave you guys with this. When we win, we win. And today, we won. We are, for the 8th time, Super Cup champions.
That's for all the Interista crying. There he is, Lord Sergio, with a beautiful cigar and la trophy in hand. Ovunque e sempre.
Forza Milan!
Peace out, everybody. Good night.